Just a year older than you, Shabika? Yeah. He was 42. Yeah, man, it was a very sad day, man. One of our wonderful actors. Do you know that when he was in acting school, I think he went to, I want to say Howard, he went to one of these acting schools, and in the acting class, there was somebody who paid, there was a philanthropist who paid their tuition for the acting class, and they didn't know who it was, but later on they found out it was Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington paid for their acting classes, the tuition for the acting school. Yeah, so shout out to Denzel with that. But yeah, man, it's been a crazy year. It's been an extremely crazy year. You understand? Okay, hold on. I'm talking to the family. What we're not going to do, little white supremacist trolls, we're not doing that tonight, man. We're trying to chop up some real good game. Yeah, we're not doing that with y'all tonight. All the little white supremacist trolls, you're going to get up out of here. Yeah, he went to Howard University. Yeah. And I think my man was originally from South Carolina. Oh yeah, Denzel paid for him to go to Oxford and study in the exchange program. See, shout out to Denzel. You saw something in that cat. Yeah. It's amazing. That's amazing. I see you, McLovin. Family, this is why I want y'all to understand. Like I said, life is very short. Life is short. You better live life to the fullest. Life is extremely short. You don't have time to be out here fearful. You don't have time to be fearful out here. Yeah, he was an amazing actor. Live your life to the fullest. Live without fear. Yeah? Live your life without fear. Yeah, but that was an amazing actor. Did you see the farce on Washington? Did y'all see that corporate-sponsored March on Washington anniversary today? Did any of y'all watch it? I saw little clips here and there. I didn't watch the whole thing because basically it's corporate-sponsored Boule Fest. It was a nothing fest. From what I saw, it was basically a glorified Biden rally. Basically, man, that shit was a glorified Democratic convention Biden rally. It was garbage, garbage, garbage. All BS. They had all the Boule Negroes up there. They had the family members of certain victims of race soldiers. Oh, they up there talking about non-violence. Oh, we shouldn't be violent. I'm like, come on, man. It was just a nothing fest. A bunch of let's not be violent. Oh, we need to do better. We gonna go for police reform and criminal justice reform. And basically, all they do, they go up there by their paymasters tell them to go up there, talk about how bad black people are treated, and then start talking about these real vague, empty solutions like police reform and get out there and vote, and criminal justice reform and get out there and vote, and they gonna stop messing with us. They're gonna get their knees off our necks, get out there and vote. Okay, vote for who? Now, let's not be violent out here now. Get out there and vote. Okay? How do you fight genocidal violence with nonviolence? How do you fight genocidal violence with nonviolence? See, their white paymasters make sure they start talking that nonviolent stuff. You understand? And they start talking about voting for who? Then it becomes all this Donald Trump. Look at what all this Donald Trump stuff. This is what Donald Trump is doing. Let's be very clear. Family, George Floyd was killed in a Democratic-run city. The mayor is a Democrat. In Kenosha, where Jacob Blake was almost killed, the mayor is a Democrat. The governor is a Democrat of Wisconsin. In Minnesota, remember, Philando Castile, he got killed there with impunity. Again, that's a Democrat-run city in Minneapolis. Ferguson, Democratic run with Mike Brown getting killed. Alton Sterling down in Louisiana, that was a Democratic-run city. Freddie Gray, Democratic-run city. Eric Garner, democratically run city. So who are we voting for? How is voting going to stop that? Yeah, they're dangling bags for these families. Now, first, most of the family of old Jacob they were talking some real rah-rah shit the other day. And now sounds like they done dangled a bag to them and they started flipping and switching up. The dad's talking about he talked to Kamala Harris and it feels like he's talking to his auntie, and Biden is talking, it's like talking to his uncle, which I'm not gonna put no pressure on that dude, because they might have flipped it. They might have just casually asked him a trick question and he fell for it. I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt, because they probably interviewed him and said, hey, would you say that Biden is almost like an uncle? Yeah, I guess. And then they'll say, well, he said that Biden is like his uncle. You know? So you got to be, I don't know. I know the mama was really mammying it up with Benjamin Crump. Benjamin Crump is just pathetic. Benjamin Crump is pathetic. This is the most pathetic ambulance chasing nigga ever. The minute he comes around, it's all about forgiving and him getting a damn settlement check. Ben Crump is the worst. And this nigga's so shameless with it, he makes sure he's sitting right there with his face dead in the camera with the family up there forgiving. He's making sure his face is right there in the camera. That nigga's pathetic. That mush mouth fucking coon. But let me tell y'all something. Black people, that's shameful to sit up here and just be satisfied with getting a little settlement check after your family gets killed. Let me tell you something, family. If you're not trying to avenge your family members, especially your children, that says a lot, man. That says a lot. You gotta avenge your family, dude. There's honor in that. Even if you die for something. But all of this cowardly, you sitting up talking about you forgive the person who killed your kids, that's cowardly as fuck, man. That's extremely cowardly. What's up, man? How you doing, Lil Ox? Well, let me tell you something else, guys. The first March on Washington 57 years ago, that was a farce. Let's talk history right now. Let's talk history. The first March on Washington was a big ass con game too. A lot of folks don't know that because, see, the white media play that up. The first March on Washington was the decline of the civil rights movement. What's up, Ashley? How are you, beloved? In the 1960s, let's talk history here. In the 1960s, the white media, they started kind of propping up all of these little black civil rights groups, trying to prop them up. A lot of the white liberal organizations were throwing money at niggas, and they were scrambling and actually fighting each other over that little liberal white money. So a lot of them were bickering with each other, okay? But the streets were rising up. The streets was boiling out in the 1960s. Black folks were, ready to put in work in the streets, guys. Remember, the other day I showed a clip of black folks in Watts, and they weren't on that nonviolent stuff. And let me be very clear. Black folks, even in the South, many of them weren't on that nonviolent shit either. They keep showing you Selma as if that was indicative of everybody in the 1960s. Family, in Birmingham, the black people rose up on the white folks in Birmingham in the early 60s. They don't tell you this. The black people in Birmingham, because Dr. King was out there trying to, get the to integrate the schools and all that, and he actually failed at first. So the black people were like, well, fuck it, we need to go handle our own business. So what black people? What's up, cousin Jerry? Everybody say what's up to cousin Jerry. We got cousin Jerry in the house. But let me tell you something. Dr. King initially failed to integrate Birmingham. So the people were like, well, shit, we need to put in our own work. So the people on the streets of Birmingham, they started fucking the white people up. You understand? They were fucking white people up in Birmingham, stabbing them, busting them in the head with bottles. Then Kennedy sent the troops down there. So that's when you see some of the footage of the water hoses and all that, because the brothers were turning up so heavy. So you see the aftermath of that, them coming down there with them water hoses. They were using them water hoses because the brothers and sisters were whooping ass. So after those water hoses, the brothers and sisters said, not just in Birmingham, but all over the country, they're like, okay, if y'all doing that, well, guess what we're going to do? We're going to shut down the government. We're going to shut down airports. We're going to shut down the Senate building. We're going to go to Washington. The streets were saying this. The streets were talking about, we're going to go to Washington and shut all this shit down. If y'all want to put them hoses on us, we got something for your ass when we come to Washington. We're going to go to the airport. We're going to lay down in front of the tarps so airplanes can't fly and land. And at this time, television was relatively new. And all of this footage and all of this coverage, this was ratings gold. So they didn't mind showing all of this stuff on TV. So the world was getting to see this stuff. So the streets were talking about they're going to march on Washington. Let's be very clear. They were going to march on Washington anyway. It was brothers on the grassroots talking about marching on Washington, and they were going to come up there with the bullshit. It wasn't going to be no damn sing-alongs and hymns. They were going to come up there to whoop some ass all up in Washington. So Kennedy said, okay, we got to stop this. Kennedy said, hey, man, where my Negro leaders? We got to stop it. And all the black so-called Negro leaders who was on the take, they were like, well, this ain't us. We don't really control this. This is not us. We're not controlling nobody. So what they did, they had a meeting at the Carlisle Hotel. I think this is in New York. The Carlisle Hotel, that's a Kennedy-owned hotel. They had a meeting up there in New York, and they got all the so-called civil rights leaders at that meeting. And then they got a coalition together where they would give them like $1 million to split with each other. It's called the Big Six, like the NAACP, some of these other little civil rights organizations at the time. So they gave them like damn near $1 million to split with each other to stop fighting, because they like, well, we know you niggas love, y'all trying to get some money, y'all fighting with each other. So here's some money. We need you guys to be the representatives at the March on Washington. We need you guys to be the leaders of it. We're going to put you guys in the forefront. They hired PR firms and just really started putting all these Negroes on television. Roy Wilkins was one of them, exactly. Roy Wilkins was one of them. So they made a deal with John Lewis and all them niggas. And they were like, we're going to put all you on TV. We're going to just flood the zone, flood the magazines, flood TV, flood newspapers with images of you. Bayard Rustin, he was a part of that with his CIA ass. Bayard Rustin was a CIA asset. He was a CIA and an FBI asset. So they started making them the leaders of the March on Washington. You understand? So they co-opted it. So they told them what to say. I mean, they controlled that shit from top to bottom. They made sure, hey, don't, nonviolence now, nonviolence. There's a reason why they kept on talking about nonviolence, because there was so much violence in the streets. So the King message, they had to go up there, keep talking about nonviolence, don't be so hard on white people, talk about I got a dream, and talk about hope, and just talk about a lot of intangible things. The whole thing was about intangible nothing burgers. You understand? King got involved because the Kennedy Foundation, they put him at the head of that. They put him at the head. King did not organize the March on Washington. They put him at the head of it so that the streets wouldn't come up there. The Kennedys, they had to organize it and co-opt it and shift the direction of it. For example, they had James Baldwin, he flew in from Paris to be a part of it. They wouldn't even let him speak. If you notice, James Baldwin, who was very well known at the time, he wasn't at the March on Washington, because James Baldwin was like, they didn't know what he'll say. He was like, look, y'all not going to pay me off to not tell the truth. I'm going to, if I get up here and say what I need to say, I'm going to tell the truth. So they wouldn't let him up there. There's certain black folks, they would not let them up there. By the way, Malcolm was up there. He was in Washington at the time. Malcolm X was in Washington, D.C. at the time. Yeah? Yeah. Exactly. Yeah, real talk, Jerry. It was guns that stopped. People forget about the deacons of defense. It was brothers down there that were armed that was stopping the bullshit. So it wasn't all that marching, because remember, after the March on Washington, the white supremacists were still trying to attack black folks. It was until black folks started rising up on their asses that made them stop. Yeah? Now, Kennedy did not want them to go through the March on Washington, but when he saw that the march was inevitable, he co-opted it. He co-opted it. And again, the reason why the white supremacists ultimately got shut down in the 60s with all of that direct violence they were doing is because starting in the mid-60s to the late 60s, black people were whooping their asses. With the Watts riots, with the New Jersey riots, with the Detroit riots, black people were like, you know what? We done marched, we done the nonviolent thing. It's time for a little violence. Yeah, it's time for a little violence here. Yeah? So black folks started picking off these race soldiers from rooftops. They started snatching them up out of cars. Seemed like niggas get a lot of stuff done when you get on your bullshit. Yeah? Malcolm was critical. Yeah, a lot of folks were critical of the march. It was the farce on Washington, and it was the decline. It was the decline of the civil rights movement. Yeah, that was the decline of the civil rights movement. So they carried out that same nothing burger tradition today. The same tradition. They got a bunch of these boule, bought and paid for Negroes who are funded by the white Democrats to go up here and talk about nothing burgers like police reform, criminal justice reform, as if that's synonymous with blackness. Look, we got card-carrying white supremacist groups working in law enforcement. You cannot reform that. You cannot reform that, dude. You gotta be on some shit where we're going to punish them to the fullest extent of the law. If you got white supremacist groups out here shooting people in the backs, we only want punishment. We don't want no damn reform. Reform, you can't reform a white supremacist. You can't reform that. These people are deliberately going out here trying to murder black folks because they get benefits from doing that. These people are actually getting rewarded for hunting us. That little white boy up there in Kenosha who went to Kenosha, he lived in Illinois, but he went to Kenosha. See, his ass thought he was going to hunt some black people. See, what he wanted to do was ambush some black people. Let me tell you something. That's why they're calling that little white boy hero. He went over there to ambush niggas. He went out there to ambush niggas, and what happened was, when he pulled that gun out, brothers started ducking and dodging and started getting out the way, so he couldn't catch no brothers. But the white boys were up there trying to run and take the gun from him, and then they got. I saw somebody ask me about Kamala Harris. I saw that somebody asked her about, doing something for black men. What are you going to do to help black men? Well, I want to help all men. I want to help everybody. Kamala Harris ain't shit. She ain't shit. She ain't shit. And she keeps proving over and over how she ain't shit. Anybody trying to big up Kamala Harris in any capacity, you ain't shit. Kamala Harris goes out of her way to shit on black society, That woman is trash, trash, trash. She's hot fucking garbage. I'm going to play that clip of her talking that dumb shit. I'm going to play that on my broadcast Sunday. But yeah, they asked her about doing something for black men. And boy, she started talking about all men and all lives. Fuck out of here, dude. Yeah, she ain't about to offend her zaddy at home. Yeah, she ain't about to offend her zaddy. Nigga, fuck Kamala Harris, dude. That woman is trash. And you think we gonna get out here and voting for that piece of fucking filth? Nah, we good, man. That woman has vitriol for black society, man. That woman has vitriol for us. Yeah, she's done. You know, they start talking about all types of stuff for immigrants and LGBT. When it comes to them, they start talking specific things for them. When it comes to us, well, we'll do something for everybody. That's a spit in our face, man. That's them spitting in our faces. We're not going to go for that. We're not going for that at all. Yeah, you can see the disgust in her face. Yeah. Man. But yeah, that's a horrible thing. And again, that woman, she never really identified as black. She's politically black, but that woman never identified with black. That woman comes from East Indian culture where they are decidedly anti-black. Yeah? So yeah, we're good on her. Yeah, we're very good on her. Vote libertarian? No, we ain't voting nothing, dude. Man, we gotta, the best thing to do is not to even legitimize the process. Even participating in an illegitimate system, participating in an illegitimate structure, you're legitimizing it. This system is too corrupt for us to participate in it. I want y'all to understand this, guys. It's Cousin Kenny, I'm telling you who to vote for. Nobody, fool. You don't vote for no fucking body in a system that's completely corrupt and against you. Yeah? You don't vote in a system where both sides are against you, dude. What the hell is that? Yeah, you don't vote for a system like that. You do not vote for a system where both sides are against you, because you're legitimizing that. So you participate in it when you spend all the money. No, dollars are universal. The dollar is a universal system. But a political system, you can't legitimize that. You can't legitimize a political system that is decidedly against you. A dollar is a neutral exchange. Anybody who has it will get value from it. So a dollar, that's a neutral exchange. But voting for a system that's based on one side of anti-blackness and another side of anti-blackness, you're voting for your own demise. You don't participate in that. You let that shit crash and burn. Because, see, we've been propping it up. We got to understand this. We've been helping to prop up the system. In order to keep a person subjugated, you have to keep them participating in the subjugation. That's how you can keep it going on for so long. If you want to subjugate somebody, let them participate in it, so you can blame them. So when, for example, when we keep voting in the Kamala Harrises and all of these other politicians who don't do shit, and we say, damn, man, this politician just kind of let us hang. Well, hey, you voted for him. Hey, come on. But we didn't have no other option. Hey, man, you mean shit. You voted for him, though, hey. And that's true. When you participate in this shit, you are voting for your own demise. You don't have to vote, dude. You don't have to choose the lesser of two damn evils. you let that shit crash and burn. See, a lot of black folks, let's be very clear, a lot of y'all are scared of that because now that means you're going to have to start doing for yourself. We're going to have to start doing business with each other. We're going to have to start being straight up and down. We're going to have to start working harder, because when you work for yourself, you have to actually work harder. There's a lot of black folks out here who are comfortable with being in a subjective system that subjugates you, because at least I get some goodies out of it, and if I just stay quiet, I won't get harmed. You should live in a system where you don't know whether you're going to come home or not every damn day. That's the system you're in, family. You're in a system where you and your children might not come home every day you go out the door. You never know. So you had to replace that system with a system of justice. And in order to replace that with a system of justice, you let the system of white supremacy crash and burn, but then you have to pick up the pieces and do the work. And that's the shit that gets scary. A lot of niggas don't want to put in that hard work. See, when it comes to doing business for ourselves, man, it takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort. See, this is why it failed. Haiti could not be sustained as a free nation for, that long in an economically viable manner, because when Dessalines and those brothers got rid of the French, they let the people know, okay, look, we really got to put in some hard work now. All the white people are gone. All the white supremacists are gone. So now we have to work harder in order to build up our nation. And a lot of niggas didn't want to do nothing. They're like, well, shit, we just got off the plantations. Can we party for a minute? And they were like, no, man, we can't be partying right now. Party time ain't, no. Because these people are still trying to attack us. So we got to build forts around the island. We got to build weapons. We got to build our economy. We got to have a cash crop to export. So we got to get out here and put in work. So them niggas rose up and like, well, fuck that. We're going to kill your ass too, nigga. Damn that. We trying to party a little bit. See, we get that mentality. That's why when you go to these protests, niggas be out here partying. You'll turn that shit into a goddamn block party. See, that's the thing. We think, okay, we're going to get off the plantation. And once we get off the plantation, well, damn it, we just turn the music up and drive around and party and celebrate. Fuck that, man. Damn that celebration, nigga. We need to stay working. Yeah? We got to work hard. You don't stop. See, the white supremacists, they like to get you in the mindset of, okay, if you do something constructive, they'll congratulate you, but then they want you to stop. Okay, yeah, that was good, nigga. You did something constructive, so let's move on. Let's get back to the partying. You understand? They don't want you to be too constructive. Just like with music artists. If there's a music artist who does a positive and a conscious type of record, they'll congratulate you on that one. They're like, okay, that's good, but let's not make that a habit. Now let me give you some more drugs. Now look, Marvin Gaye, I know you made the What's Going On album, which is a classic album and it's a very conscious album, but no, we need some more party in here. No. Let's throw some women at you. That's how they do. We need you partying and bullshit. Yeah? We need you to get jiggy, nigga. Let's get back to the jiggy stuff. Come on, J. Cole. I know they have conversations with the people like J. Cole and the Kendrick Lamars when they start speaking more consciously about their music. When you have our sister Beyonce is speaking more consciously in her music. Now that Beyonce is being more conscious in her music, what are they throwing out here and putting a lot of money behind? Wet ass pussy. I put up a clip of this brother, and I talked about this last night. Last night on my broadcast yesterday at Tariq Radio, I talked about how the white supremacists really, when they talk about a black person invading their neighborhood, they don't mean a nigga just coming like a thief in the night. They ain't afraid of that. They mean a brother coming in broad daylight with a U-Haul truck. That's the threat. It ain't no brother sneaking in there with a gun or a weapon or a knife. No, it's a nigga walking in there with a key. A black man walking into their neighborhood with a U-Haul truck and a key. That's the problem. That's their biggest fear. And today I put up a clip of this former NFL player. He moved into a new neighborhood in Florida, and the security guards called the police on him. It was a gated community, and they're going to call the police. His name wasn't on some list or whatever. He was trying to get into the community at the security desk, and I guess his name wasn't on some kind of list, so they called the police on the brother. Yeah, Brandon Marshall. They're going to call the police, and he rightfully got pissed off about it. Because what they were doing, what they do, these assholes call the police hoping that the police will escalate the situation so that they can kill your ass. I want you to be very clear. These anti-black racists, the only reason they call the police because they are hoping that the police will show up on some rah-rah shit. They're hoping that a trigger-happy race soldier is going to show up. They're setting you up to be ambushed. I want y'all to understand that. When these people call the police on your ass, they're setting you up to be ambushed. That's why black folks stop negotiating with these folks. You understand? And you're going to have to start keeping tabs on folks who do little shit like that. These folks who try to set up these little ambush attacks, nigga, you need to know who they are, where they are. See, you need to be on that ass. Yeah? I heard about Obama telling the NBA players to keep playing. Obama's another one. Yeah, Obama's another one, man. We got to understand warfare when we're in it, man. This is warfare. And look, you know, folks are getting bold out here. Out here in LA, there was an activist group. They went to the house of the chief of police, the LAPD chief of police. They went to his house and started posting up signs. Chief Michael Moore, who lives right up the street from me, and I found out that they went to his crib because I kept getting ring alerts on my phone. All the scared white people in the neighborhood. They were like, oh my God. Oh my God. Antifa's here, dude. So I kept getting ring alerts on my phone, and the helicopters, and they started panicking. They went to the chief of police crib. Yeah. People are getting bold now. See, people are getting bold out here now. People are like, well, look, we done enough marching, then we're going to come marching at your house. We're going to start marching in your neighborhood. We're going to start, we're going to start looking and seeing who the problem is. And we're going to take the heat to the problem. Yeah, they walked through that gated community. They walked right through and went straight to his crib. Yeah? So that's the thing, man. People are switching their game up a little bit now. People are switching their game up now. Yeah? Because, look, people, after a while, everybody ain't going to just sit up and just let you keep ambushing them right now. People ain't going to keep doing that. People are not going to sit up and just, they're going to ambush the wrong person's family. They're going to fuck around and catch another Michael Johnson. They're going to fuck around and catch another Chris Dorner. Yeah?
You keep pushing people down. Sooner or later, they rise up. If death is the price for a night of justice,